It seems to me the role of a teacher is to either bring students into this moment or to help them realize they've never been out of this moment. And what's so complicated is that the mind and the body and the idea of yourself being in the moment is impossible. That the thing that keeps you from being here is your idea of yourself. Is this ongoing mind acting, dissecting, projecting, ruminating, questioning, wondering. All of that stuff separates you. The whole body-mind idea as long as you try to bring it into this moment, will be unsuccessful. Because this moment exists independently of your body-mind idea. You are not sitting here separate from everything else that's going on. You're not here experiencing this. I know it makes no sense. But as long as you think you're experiencing this, there's two things, you and it. So, the job of a teacher is to bring you from where you are, where your mind thinks you are, into this moment. What happens in class is very interesting. Mostly, we ask for help to surrender. Help to surrender means to let go of you for 10 seconds. And so what does it mean to let go of you? The way I describe it in the introductory class is you just stop being consumed by yourself, by your thoughts, your ideas, your identity, all of the stuff that keeps you engaged, just for 10 seconds. And that creates a kind of space. It's a kind of stillness. And that stillness feels really good. It feels really good because you're not there. The thing that makes you feel, let's call it bad, it's not really true, but the thing that makes you feel self-conscious, aware, identified with all of this, is your body and your mind. So when you suspend that for 10 seconds, it's a kind of clarity or a simplicity or a stillness or a peace that comes into play. And you go, oh, that feels good. I like that. I want more of that. I want 15 seconds, 20, a minute, 10 minutes, half an hour, an hour. And you can get that. You can actually get that. You can sit in a state of such enormous stillness that the world falls away, you fall away, and you're just empty. And there's a quality to that emptiness which is really, really sweet, really peaceful. And then you have to get up. You have to get up because you have to go eat, you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go somewhere, whatever it is, life returns. And you think, all I want to do is go back to that state, to that peacefulness, to that joy, to that simplicity, that stillness. I've been around people who go on retreats so they can sit in that stillness for days at a time. Some do it for months at a time. And again, it can be very desirable. Some groups actually bring you food while you're in that place, so you don't even have to go make food. You can just sit, eat, go to the bathroom, maybe sleep, and just be, That is the state that I think most people are reaching for in meditation. The sustaining of a kind of incredible release and openness. And it is very desirable and attainable. You can have that. But at some point, you have to walk out of the cave or walk out of the retreat center, walk out of your meditation, and deal with the world. Deal with the other stuff. And where is that stillness and peace and joy? When you're in the world, when you're dealing with your parents, your children, your in-laws, your nieces, your nephews, whatever it is, your lovers, your husbands and wives, where are you in that moment? There is no difference between being in the world, active and involved in terms of presence, and being in deep retreat within yourself. They're just parts of one vast spectrum of being. To choose one part of that spectrum over another part of that spectrum and say this is desirable and this is not desirable, that you want to live in one part of your reality and not in another part of your reality, begins to deny whole aspects of who you are and what your life is. The journey of spiritual life is to awaken to the miracle of this moment. That's the journey. The journey is not into peace and bliss and living in a cave. The journey clearly is not into suffering through day-to-day life because you're so consumed by your mind and your needs and your obligations. The journey is into seeing what this is. That's the whole thing. Seeing this as it is. How far do you have to go? How many meditation classes do you have to do? How many miles do you have to travel to arrive at this? It's the frustration of a teacher of wanting to just sit and take your eyelids and just go, open them a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just look. Feel, taste, smell, hear, see this moment. Everyone is looking for God and for truth and for beauty and for wisdom and for spiritual awakening anywhere but where they are. And the only truth is that you're sitting in the middle of it and always have been. Always, always have been. The miracle is you. The miracle is within you. Every time you take a bite of food, you are tasting truth. You are experiencing God. Every second of your life is an expression of this one entity, this one being that we collectively are. Everyone we look at is an emanation of our true self. To accept and reject each other is to deny what we really are. To be walking around rejecting anything in life is to miss the point. The accepting and rejecting being that we are is the part that is separate from truth. And what occurs at some point in your meditative life, one is the realization that nothing you do is going to get you there, that it will all fail. Even sitting for 4 years in a cave in total bliss is not going to be the answer. That what you're looking for is who is seeing through your eyes, who is hearing through your ears, who is smelling through your nose, who is feeling this world. All I want to do is be able to say to you, you're there. You're there. And I know you can't hear that. I know the frustration of hearing that. I used to hear that all the time. People would say, you're already there, you're already it. And I would feel all of this disturbance and go, that can't be it. But it is it. It is it. Even the disturbance is it. There's a process in meditation that goes, even this is it. And once you start to really open to that, and it's hard, it's real spiritual work. Once you open to the fact that even this is that, or even this is it, nothing is outside. There's nothing separate. There's only one continuum. You actually have to seek until you become so frustrated that you stop seeking. You have to try until you realize that trying won't get you there. That the very being that's trying and seeking is the problem. Just stop. Just be. But if you stop too soon, it won't happen. If you stop too soon, you'll just go back into the old patterns. You have to really give it your all. What did Romney say? You got to leave it on the field, you know? Which I don't think he did. But that's the idea. Give it your all. Give it your all. Try everything, and then when it doesn't work, something profound takes place. That is, the you that's trying lets go. The you that's trying to get somewhere suddenly just gives up. True surrender, at which point the grace of God comes through. It's a journey. It's a crazy journey. We have to work so hard to not get there, and then by giving up, arrive. How do you describe that? And my sitting here talking this week after week after week after week has a strange aspect, because I never say anything new anymore. And it's really crazy. It's really crazy. Why would you want to listen to this every week? And some people say, well, we always hear it a little differently each week. But really, what's happening is you've got to get to the point where you can't stand listening to me anymore. And you have to get pretty crazy about that. You have to say, it's all failing, it's not working. Why isn't it working? You have to care that much, that passionately. You have to bang your head against a wall. What's wrong? You have to really get to that point and then just give up. And then this door opens. And it's a very simple little door. This woman I listened to recently just described the cellophane comes off between you and it, between you and the world. No separation. No separation at all. Doesn't mean your life's going to get sweet and easy. It does not mean that at all. It doesn't mean that trouble goes away. It doesn't mean that your ego is disintegrated. It's just all part of this amazing dance that we're all in. But most of us are in the dance and not realizing what it is. And that causes a lot of suffering. I can only tell you that at the heart of every moment of your life is a walking, living miracle. At the heart of every instant of your life is the miraculous. Not seeing that is why we suffer. Not seeing that is the cause of why we feel separate and alone. There is nothing in you separate from the miracle. You are the miracle itself. You are an expression of the miracle. Every element of you is an expression. All of your incompletion, all of your misunderstanding, all of your suffering, all of your chaotic mind stuff is all part of it. It wouldn't be there if you weren't this miraculous truth. So, fight the good fight. The good fight is bring yourself into focus. Bring yourself to this table. Bring yourself here over and over and over. Bang your head against what I'm saying. Bang it against the wall. Fight to get what is being spoken about here, because why would you want to be living in a miracle and not know it? Why would you want to be part of something beyond belief beautiful and never see it? Why? Why would you want to be so preoccupied with the fact that gas prices are going up that nothing else in your life matters? What's that about? You know? I mean, the election's over. I could see people getting crammed into that one. It's over. Now, there's a billion other things to take your attention in your mind and make you crazy, but at least recognize the miracle of being crazy, the miracle of this universe, keeping us entertained, keeping us engaged, demanding real things of us, living a real life, and knowing every second is full of wonder. How how did this happen? How does it happen that we are sitting in a world at all? How did it happen that we became manifested beings at all? How is it we have fingers, tongues, toes, feet? How did this, what is this? What is this? You can't explain it away. Even science and biology can't explain it away. It is. It is. You are that. You are this enormous miracle. And if you don't strive to know that, if you don't peel your eyelids back and go, oh, then it's kind of a waste of time. And the worst thing that happens, maybe it's not the worst, but at the very end of your life, you're lying on your deathbed and you go, oh my God. But what you're seeing is what was always there. Why see it in the last millisecond of your life when you can live your whole life going, and that's why people are taught to pursue spiritual awakening. It's not because it has anything to offer in terms of reward, in terms of benefit. It just offers you an opportunity to see where you are and to know who you are in all of this. It's okay if you don't do it. It's okay if you don't wake up to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the whole. It doesn't matter at all. It just matters to you. So the goal of spiritual teachers is just to go, hey, wake up. Take a look. Check it out. It's right here. It's right here. You don't have to do anything to get there. You're there. You truly are there right now. That's all it is. That's the totality of this teaching. And I will say it even if there's just one person in this room. Because if that one person wants to know it, that's a gift. And it's a motivation.
How do you correlate the surrender of nothing to the ambition of what you can achieve in life?
It's all part of the same thing. It's all one thing. I mean, it's a big soup. It incorporates a lot. Mm-hmm. You can be a completely driven, have major big life, and at the same time witness it as, oh my God, look what this is. Look what ambition is. Look what drive is. You know, it's like, how can you not honor that? It's a big thing. It's a big energy that you are. That is life. I mean, walk around, look at Los Angeles. Look at the buildings. Look at the train tracks. You know, look at the roads. You go, you know, you can go just, oh yeah, they were built in the 50s. Eisenhower, you know, got a lot of money for everybody to build highways. Who cares? It's not about that. It's like people worked to build these roads, build these cars that you can drive on. Yes, you can have accidents and kill people and kill yourself, and all that stuff happens in life, all of it. But it's all one unbelievable, miraculous thing. It's huge. It's huge. Life is huge. What an amazing thing we're in. We are. I mean, you can think of it as you in it, but the deeper truth, and it really resonates at some moment, is it's all your creation. And I don't mean Jake specifically. I mean the creation of our collective being. It made this. It's making it every second. It's building it. It's building it and destroying it. It's, you know, there's Brahma the creator, there's Vishnu the preserver, and there's Shiva the destroyer. And they're all working all the time. And there's a kind of a balance, which is called the yin and yang. So it somehow keeps all of that in some kind of strange sort of harmony. Even when it's looking really awful and imbalanced, it's got its own truth. And it's all part of what's going on, and we are that. And not to know you're that, not to be that, not to witness it, not to embrace it, and more importantly, give yourself to it, is a sadness. It's just, people want fulfillment. You don't get fulfilled, you lose you and realize there's nothing but fullness. There's nothing but fullness. And then you understand, and I'm sorry this complicates it, all of that fullness is completely empty.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. It's all that.
You're
And it's,
also part of boredom.
yeah, it's the whole, you're just, there is nothing but this, period. There's nothing but this. And it's so amazing. It's so amazing. And not to know it's amazing is what kills me. You know, all I want to do is go, it's amazing. You know, look at this, look at this. And people go, why are you shaking me? You know, don't, it's like, it's a joy, it's a ride we're on. We're all on it. I don't know how or why it came into being. I will never know that. I talk about this a lot. It's a mystery with a big M. And you're never going to get past it's a mystery. Ever. You're never going to get the answer. First of all, you can't have the answer because there's no you to have it. There's only the thing itself. The thing itself doesn't know what it is, but it knows it is. It's working its way through its expression of itself. That's all it is. This is all that. It's been happening forever. And it will go on forever. It just will do this. And in the middle of all of that, we will arise as this momentary, separate thing that will go, look at this. Why? Because it wants to see itself. It wants to hear itself, smell itself, taste itself, touch itself. And then it's gone. This part's gone. But there's another one and another one. And it's all you or us. It's all one huge manifested thing that also is unmanifested. It never was. It never will be. And yet it's always this. It's always present. There's inexplicable, totally mind-bending mystery.
Can I add one thing to that?
Please.
As you're talking, what comes to mind is that life is an infinite road. There's infinite choices. Ambition is the choice that you take, and spirituality would therefore be the awareness of the journey you decide to take. Is that?
Sure. I mean, that's one
one thing that's
one version of it. You can enter into this blindly, live a blind life, and get into a lot of trouble probably, or you can have an awareness that ennobles the journey. Basically, gives you clarity. You know, but the ultimate awareness and spiritual truth will be that there's no you doing it. It's just happening. It's happening. But for a period of, quote, time, there will be a body with a name that you will identify with totally, that you will find great pleasure and pain in, especially when it's starting to rot away and disintegrate. You know, not fun. On the other hand, if you're identified with the bigness of yourself, you will watch that disintegration from a very different perspective than if you're caught in it. You will watch it with a sense of awe. You won't like it particularly because it doesn't like it. And it doesn't go away until it's gone, by the way. You know, as long as there's all being and there's this little ego mind, that little ego mind is there, but awakening is to know you're the totality and this little ego mind. And the little ego mind is there to get a little glimpse at that little moment of truth that's happening right in front of you at that instant. That's your particular take on it. And the universe wants that take, or it wouldn't have made you. It wants to see itself from that perspective. And it honors that perspective. It loves it. And all of your ancestral roots, I have to say, all of the DNA of you that goes into you is rooting for you. It loves you. It loves that you've manifested. I have one granddaughter, and I can't imagine loving anything more in life. And I've had a lot to love, and I love a lot. But she's carrying this thing onward, and I get the sense of stadiums full of people cheering me even as I'm speaking right now. And it's doing it for every one of you. It really does it for everybody, because it loves us totally. Totally. It's so grateful for what we're going through to know ourselves. To know what this is. That's what it's all about. And be it. I mean, it also knows totally what it is and doesn't care on some level. So, you know, you're going to have to deal with a lot of duality. But in the end, it's just one miracle. And you're it.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's interesting that we're following Shiva in our root
In this class, yeah.
because it is very destructive, this world.
The world is destructive and we get destroyed.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, and that's a really important ingredient. And Rudra,
Let's not forget it.
No, well, those who come to study with me, and it's very interesting how it's manifested for me, I've become the person who talks about the dark side along with the light, because the dark side is as much an essential ingredient as the light in all of this. And many people in spiritual work live for the light. You don't want you want to live in the yin yang, in the balance. And if you're trying to be just the light, you're going to be out of balance. You'll be out of whack. So you got to have both. And Rudrananda, Rudra is the bliss of Shiva, of the wild, destructive side of Shiva.
Don't I know it? I just got destroyed. My life is just destroyed recently, so I know that aspect of that. So it's not right to just forget about it.
Well, you can't forget about it. No.
Exactly.
No.
It's in your face.
Yeah, I mean, we've shared some similar things, not quite things, I don't know your whole story at this point, but I know that there's a lot going on in our lives that is taking very big chunks of us and throwing them away, going through the grinder in a way. And a lot of people think, well, how could there be a God if that happens? That is God. That is God. That's Shiva. It's the dark side, and it's the destroyer, but you do not get out of life alive. At least not the person you think you are. But what does get out of life, if you will, is that which survives all of this, which is presence, is being. Being doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere. Any other questions? We'll talk. Okay, thank you guys. We're going to be here for the winter, however long that will be. And then, as I've said before, our lives are pretty much out of, we have no idea what's going on at this point. And so that uncertainty is kind of wonderful. And we'll keep reporting from the field. Thank you.